Disclaimer. This video is not about negative reviews that have been put on my books, nor is it me attempting to attack anyone who has left less than stellar reviews on mine or anyone else's books. This is a bonus video in connection to my Queen's Assassin book review where I mentioned that I was unsure if my opinions of the book are accurate. It is merely me trying to open a discussion about how a book review can be affected by outside forces. Please enjoy. Hello lovelies, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. As promised, this is a bonus video to add to the discussion about The Queen's Assassin by Melissa de la Cruz. I talked about how I had a really negative emotional reaction to the end of the book, but I'm unsure how accurate those feelings are. I'm here to clarify what I mean by that and see if anyone has experienced anything similar while reading a book. I'll try to keep this video as spoiler-free as possible, but if you don't want to know anything about The Queen's Assassin, I suggest you leave now. So, why did I have such a problem with the ending to The Queen's Assassin? Well, despite the book being classified as a young adult fantasy romance, the ending was not exactly good or even realistically happy. It was just harshly realistic. It was neither happy nor tragic. It was just real. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't read books or watch TV or play games or do anything to be reminded of what reality is. I read to escape. I read so that I can be taken to fantastical, far-off lands where love and goodness conquers all. All villains always get their comeuppance, and everyone who has been through the thickest of the shit ends up getting to be happy in the end. Not everyone has to survive, and life doesn't have to be perfect, but there at least needs to be some semblance of hope. Some people would say that The Queen's Assassin did end with hope, but it was such a sour hope that it left me indifferent at best. You don't want your readers to feel indifferent by the end of your book. But are my feelings about this book accurate? I honestly have to wonder. I can pretty much confirm that a book has never made me have that extreme of a visceral and emotional reaction before. Now, some people would say that that means that the book is actually really good because it made me feel something, even if that experience of what it made me feel was bad and left a bad taste in my mouth. But is the book alone responsible for my reaction? Let's face it, we live in a weird world right now. We're facing a worldwide pandemic, the severity of which has not been seen since the Spanish flu. I have never seen anything like this in my lifetime, and few others have. This new norm of social distancing is a really weird experience for all of us. We're all going a little stir-crazy due to quarantining and sheltering in place and social distancing and just overall lacking in basic human contact. Even though I don't live in a state that has issued a shelter-in-place order yet, I have quarantined myself as though I live in California because of my medical history. I used to be immunocompromised because of my aplastic anemia. And even though I'm in remission, I don't want to be the badass who goes out into the street to test that theory. I would rather be safe than sorry. I didn't realize this until the pandemic happened, but I had been living a quarantine lifestyle since before the C word was on everyone's lips and mind. That ultimately means that this experience was a wake-up call. The moment that it's okay for me to go outside and hang out with people again, I'm doing that every goddamn day. I'm not staying in the house in my pajamas anymore just because I have nothing better to do. As strong of an introvert as I was and even still am, I am craving human contact right now. And I'm not the only one. A lot of other people are going through this. On top of all of this, I am a hopeless romantic who, to be perfectly honest, hasn't had a lot of luck in love. I'm beginning to lose faith in love, and I'm not confident in myself at all. All around me, people are dating, getting engaged, getting married, and starting families, and I'm just here. I feel like I'm miles behind everyone else, and something is wrong with me. I know I shouldn't compare my life to the life of others, and that it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, but it's really difficult to just not notice this stuff. I am feeling more alone than I ever have in my whole life, and I am wishing to God that I had some partner to go through this with. Yeah, I have my family, but it just isn't the same. So, let's take inventory. I am a hopeless romantic who is pretty much alone, losing faith in love, and is starved for human connection in a time where we're not even allowed to get within 6 feet with each other. And I read a book that, because of its genre, promised that I was going to see love conquer all, and instead it lost to duty and destiny. Is there any reason why I was upset? How much of my emotional reaction was actually because of the book, and how much of it was because of what is happening around me and how I'm actually feeling about life in general right now? Who knows? My reaction to The Queen's Assassin may have been very different if I had read it during a time when everything was quote-unquote normal, and I could go out and I could talk to people and I could date or whatever. But since you can't experience something for the first time twice, we're never going to know if that's the case. And unfortunately, even if those emotions and reactions and opinions were affected by what's going on in the world, it still leaves a lasting impression. Ultimately, this will affect my choices in the future. Like I said in my book review, I'm hesitant to read anything else that Melissa wrote because, honestly, I just don't want to keep crying or being sad. I don't know if Melissa normally ends her books that way, and if she doesn't, that's great, but at the same time, I'm still worried. Has this ever happened to any of you? Have you ever read a book that you would normally enjoy more, but because of what was going on around you, it just didn't feel good to read? Can you think of another reason why an opinion of a book might have been affected by your general life? Go to the comments below and tell me all about it. Melissa, if by some crazy chance you are watching this video, I hope you know that I think you are a great writer. I just don't want to get that upset again. If you have a book that you would recommend that has a much, shall we say, happy-go-lucky ending, I'm all ears. Or if any of the rest of you out there have read other Melissa de la Cruz books that ended a lot better than The Queen's Assassin, please tell me. I will add them to my list of recommendations, and I'll get to them when I think I have some time and when I get through other books. For now, I need Hallmark levels of happy. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, don't forget to bitch slap that like button, and while you're at it, why don't you bitch slap that subscribe button and flick that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. My book, Starforged Orion, and my play, How Are You, are available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. You can also get Starforged at Barnes & Noble's website. If you'd like to find other ways to support me, go ahead and check out my Patreon. I'm just saying you can become a beta reader if you wanted to. And don't forget to check out my other social media sites if you want more content. Toodles!